everybody. This is Allison Jordan, and I am just so honored. I'm just so excited that I was asked to sit in for the Roman Morrow for the Drive at 5. So, hello. I love you, Roman. Keep calling me, like bring me in more often. I like this because I got some pretty exciting guests. He said I can interview anybody. I really wanted to interview my mom, so y'all just got to know y'all came in like second to my mama.
Yeah, I know.
But she's in Atlanta with my sister, as you guys know. It's Drew Sidora from the Atlanta Housewives. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to the Atlanta Housewives. And so she couldn't make it. So y'all came in second, you and Corliss, just so y'all know. So y'all don't get y'all,
I love Drew. I don't mind being second.
Be a second. Okay. So I have with me the light heavyweight champion boxer, Derek Durr. Do we have any sound clap effects? Woo! He used to be the heavyweight champion. And I'll let him tell you a little bit about that. And he lost like a whole bunch of weight, and now he's skinny, he's fine. He light heavyweight. I think he did it so he can get more ladies. I don't know. But he fine, y'all. He's skinny, he fine, and he's got a really incredible fight coming up on September 25th at the Hammond Civic Center. It is the All-America UBO title fight at the Hammond Civic Center. So, Derek Durr in the building. Woo!
Thanks for having me.
So, I had wrote down something you said. I don't know where my little notes are.
Take your time.
Take my time. I don't got that much time.
All right.
You came in second, remember?
Right.
You had said that you have to get in the ring and you have to do the fighting, but it wasn't like fighting like boxing, like hitting somebody. It was like risking your life because you said you had witnessed something tragic, something happened to somebody once before in a boxing ring.
Yeah,
what happened?
I witnessed somebody get killed in there. You know what I'm saying? They took a bad shot and they was hospitalized and later on they died. So,
and how did that affect you? Like,
Well, it gave me a perspective on a different perspective on life because I used to box. I've been boxing for a while. And I used to box for like the glow, like the money, try to get some money, try to get some cars, try to get jewelry, stuff like that. So, but now it's like if I'm going to risk my life, it better be for something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it put a different drive in me. So I'm boxing with a purpose now, not just for myself, it's for my family, for my community. Me starting my PTSD clinic in my neighborhood, so I'm fighting to draw awareness to PTSD and mental illness, and taking the proceeds from my fights to try to build up the clinic and resources in Inglewood, where I'm from.
Okay, so before we start talking about PTSD, your clinic and everything, I want to talk boxing for a quick second, okay? Because right. I'm a boxing fan.
So
I love boxing. I know boxing.
Right.
Like I was actual judge at USA Boxing for my son, who's also a boxer. He's not pro yet, but when you said you take a risk because when people watch boxing, the whole point of boxing is like hit them, right. Knock them out, and then it's exciting, but you do get in there and risk your life, and right. It's not a team sport, so it's just you. It's like you got to take everything that your coach taught you over however many months, everything that you've watched on tape. And you know what I'm saying? Like you wake up, I know your regimen is tough. You wake up in the morning, you run miles and you work out 3 times a day. And, so that moment that you step in that little court, you pull it up, you step in, and then you standing before an opponent that you know is going to hit you maybe, or you're not. You say, I'm fighting for something bigger, right?
Yeah.
And so this fight coming up on September 25th, tell me why this fight is so important. And then I want you to tell me the transition of why you went from heavyweight to light heavyweight, besides the fact you look really cute both ways. But tell me why you switched classes, and then tell me more about the fight. Tell me a little bit about the UBO.
Well, this fight coming up, this is a title fight from UBO, and people that don't know, the UBO is a sanctioned body out of Europe.
Okay.
But they're not just a title fight from UBO, and people that don't know, the UBO is a sanctioned body out of Europe.
Okay.
But they're not just in Europe, they're in the Caribbean, they're in Africa, they're in Tanzania. So I would be the first American to fight for a UBO title. So that's huge. That's putting the country on my back and representing us well, because all the UBO belts is in Europe and Africa and Asia and stuff like that. So
Okay.
me being an American fight for this belt is huge. And hopefully when I win this belt,
That's right. Win, honey.
I
Not
represent
if,
win.
win. Okay.
When I win this belt, I'll be the first American and the first Black
Yeah.
African
Oh,
American
wow.
to hold this belt,
Okay.
coming from Europe.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
know?
because you said something too. You be dropping a little knowledge. Like most people
Okay.
don't know. You real smart.
You ain't said no lies.
You had said that it isn't about the sanctioning body. It's about the boxer.
Yeah.
And that, everybody always talks about the WBC and what's the other ones? The
WBO, IBA, all that kind of
right,
stuff.
all these sanctioning bodies like Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, all these fighters that fight for these sanctioning bodies, but there are thousands of boxers that won the WBC that hold the title, and you're like they living in their cars.
Right.
So the differentiation of the sanctioning body, everybody, is not just, oh, I want to fight for the WBC, I want to fight for the IBF or whatever. It is the boxer's charisma, the boxer's notoriety, that make the sanctioning body. So the fact that the UBO, from what I understand, came after you
Yeah.
to be the contender for the All-American title speaks volumes to them knowing that it isn't about the sanctioning body, that it's more about the boxer that makes the sanctioning body. So they're counting on Derek Durr to really give light and notoriety to this new sanctioning body. Yeah. So just because y'all never heard of the UBO, you will. On September 26th, when you wake up, you're going to know there's a new sanctioning body that's in this country that's about to make the WBC look like shadow in the wind. They're bringing them shame, right?
Bringing them shame because the UBO is already huge in Europe.
Yeah.
It's huge in Europe and it's huge in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm breaking ground here in America. You know what I mean? And representing this belt well. So I'm gonna fight my ass off.
I know.
September 25th.
He gonna knock them out.
And my city, not just Chicago, everybody around everybody around the United States gonna come see me fight and take this belt from Europe.
So tell me that defining moment in your life, whether it was when you were 8, 9, 10, 11,
Mm-hmm.
Who is that one person right now where you have this microphone in your face that you want to say thank you to, and that deserves some type of acknowledgement, about this now new opportunity, this huge opportunity. Everyone has a trajectory of where they came and where they're going. And there's always that one person that kind of like you remember, say, you know what, it was because that person said this, or that person did that, and I'm doing it for them, not just for your community and for the country, but there's always, do you have anything, buddy, this is personal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, Alice, because I don't normally get personal.
I know. Let's get personal. Wait, is there a song? Do we have any? No. Okay. Let's get personal.
If I can pay homage to anyone at this moment, it'd have to be my mother.
Is your mom listening?
Hopefully she left.
Okay.
Hopefully,
if somebody's listening, know his mama, tell her to tune in because you don't get real. Like,
no, I don't even talk about.
You don't talk about stuff like this?
No.
Oh, then let's just not talk about boxing. We about to talk about stuff for the rest of this 30 minutes, however many minutes I got.
Right.
We about to get it in.
I would say my mother, because her resilience that she showed me, where she always told me, like, you're different. You march to the own beat of your own drum. When everybody was going right, I went left. When everybody was doing this, I was doing that. You know what I mean? And none of my brothers and sisters, none of my family ever boxed before they in their life.
So you weren't really favorable then if you went left and everybody went right.
I was. You see my hat? What that say? The black sheep.
Oh, yeah. So you were the black sheep?
I was the black sheep.
Why?
Because
they just thought you were like.
No, because I never did, and I don't to this day fit inside a box. And if you come out to see my fight, y'all will see I'm not inside of a box. See, boxing is an art, and I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I box the way I want to box. It's different. It's new. It's exciting. You're not gonna see nobody probably in the game fight like me.
And why is that? Like, what sets you apart when you say fight like you? What sets you apart?
Because I'm not no typical fighter. I'm not gonna stand there and get hit. I got quiet feet like a tiptoe burglar. You know what I mean? You don't hear me coming. You hear me coming.
Yeah.
Plus I give a show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
Well,
a
that's
show.
why the UBO wanted you,
Yeah,
because I've seen your tape. I've actually I went to one of your shows.
yeah,
Oh yeah, when you were in the ring and you like leaned over the ring and looked at the opponent's fight family
yeah,
and gave him this look like, I'm about to knock your family out. Like, it
yeah.
was so hilarious. And then you knocked him out.
Right.
And then he came with his bloody face to get your autograph and take a picture with you. He
Yeah,
was so honored to be knocked out by you.
yeah.
I was like, wait, where did I do that at? But okay, we're not gonna skip. I'm gonna go a little bit back.
Okay.
Okay, so say something to your mother. I think this is taped or something,
Right.
but I'm not gonna ask you anything. Just
Okay.
say something to your mom, because in this next season, I talk a lot about like what we've been through as a country, as a world, and like, we've all had a lot of loss,
Right.
right? And now we all are coming out fighting in a
Right.
different way, right? So I feel like we're all like in this sort of fight together, you know. And so now I think it's really important that we start to acknowledge people. We lost a lot of people. I lost a lot of people
Right.
during COVID. So we have to really spend this energy and time now, I think, telling people stuff that they've never heard, things that's on your heart, to hold it so they can hold it with them. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree.
So I really want you to be uncomfortable right
Right.
now.
Right.
And I want you to like just get in the microphone, look in your camera,
You
and
worse
just
than Gail with these exclusives.
it's exclusive.
You worse than Gail.
Right. Yeah. I would be like, yeah, okay, R. Kelly ain't got nothing on you not.
Right.
Say something really, because if that's the person
Yeah.
that is important, this belt is bigger than the UBO, right? And so we want to make something special for her. We have a little seat for her right there and get a little like, VIP treatment,
Yeah.
because this is a big deal,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so go. I'll
Yeah.
let you
Well,
take it.
it's a big deal because it's been a long time coming. I've never been ashamed to talk about my past and
Mm-hmm.
my struggles and what I've been through. I didn't fought depression.
Mm.
I didn't fought PTSD. You know what I'm saying? I didn't been in a space where I've been sleeping 17, 18 hours a day,
Mm.
fighting depression. I don't even drink. But at one point, I was drinking alcohol on the train.
Mm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
and
When was this? Like,
probably a couple years ago.
okay.
And at what people thought was, oh champ, I got a little money, a little jewelry online, all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff, and people thought, some that it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was in bad shape.
What led that? What was it? What
Uh,
happened? Can you tell us that?
of course. You know, to make a long story long, you know, just being a fighter, um, set myself all the wrong people
Mm-hmm.
because at one point I had a lot of money. I had
Mm-hmm.
enough money to bake biscuits for the whole project.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when I lost it all and going through trial and tribulations through the judicial system and stuff like that, when
Mm.
everybody separated themselves from me because they couldn't take nothing from me.
Mm.
I mean, I was so messed up. You call the dog might come. Yep.
Yeah. The dog was like, you don't even got a bone.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I've been down that path.
Yeah.
I've been down that path. So now, and just remember my mother resilience, her having to walk 18 to 20 blocks with 2 bags of groceries in her hand. It
Mm.
was cut into her skin
Wow.
just to bring food home. You
And
know,
how many brothers and sisters do you have?
a lot of them, all of them ugly too.
They ugly?
You know, it's
I doubt it.
I
How
got
many?
6.
Six?
My mama
Okay.
got 6, and I got a few more on my dad's side. About
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You got 12 brothers and
maybe.
sisters?
Yeah,
Dang. And you lost a brother,
Kevin.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or?
Uh, you know, it's hard sometimes because to revisit that. But Kevin, he was murdered, and that's why he was murdered. Probably about not even 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I do what I do with PTSD. And
You were there,
yeah, I was
right?
there. I was there. I witnessed it. it was one of the kind of events that it's hard to talk about because just reliving that kind of trauma can be triggering,
Mm-hmm.
And but I do talk about it because I'm not the only one that went through it. There's a lot of kids that go through
And
it
that's
every
part
day.
of your journey
It's
to
part of
help
my
people with
journey.
PTSD. Yeah.
Yeah, and mental illness and urban
So I want to
traumas.
get to the PTSD stuff. We're going
Yeah,
to talk about that.
right.
And then, but we're not going to get away from you talking to your mama. You
Okay,
still
ma.
shooting around there. I ain't forgot nothing. I don't forget nothing.
All right.
See, I eat carrots. Okay. So go.
Well, I was going to thank my mother, if you listening, ma.
Look in the camera.
Okay, ma, if you listen, I want to thank you because it's been a long journey, and I know I didn't, gave you about 5 heart attacks on the way, but September 25th is dedicated to you.
Mm,
It's dedicated to our community that you raised me in, that you told me to take pride in, because I remember I was so proud when you the one that orchestrated the first library in Inglewood on 6030 Woods. My
wow.
mom had something to do with that.
Wow.
A lot
Mm-hmm.
of businesses that came in our community that was productive. They giving us jobs. My mama had something to do with that when she was working for the alderman. So she the one, taught me to take pride
Mm,
in where I live and
okay.
take care of people where I live. So this fight, September 25th, is dedicated to you.
Mm.
And
I'm getting all chilled.
and I'll be whooping ass in your name.
I love it. Oh, you want to know why it feels so good? It feels so good because we have to, especially as a black man.
Right,
But just I'm a mom of a son. He's 23, and I remember when he was like leaving when he first started getting his license. He got his car, and he would like leave and um, go back and forth. To the store, and I'll be like, text me when you get to the gas station. Okay, text me when you get to where you're going, and then call me when you get there. And it was like, what? He came all the way home. He's like, you know what? He handed me his keys. Said, I can't do this. It's too much. Like, get off my back. But it's like we live in this world now. Like when your black son, husband, brother leave the house, go to get a loaf of bread or to get some gas, it could change everything. Or get some Skittles and some snacks. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So for you to acknowledge your mom and know that your mom has been through a lot to get you here
right,
and you dedicate this fight to her, thank you. Like that was important as a mother of a son to acknowledge that. And I hope that she was listening or somebody told her to listen or
right,
maybe this is recorded, but this is important. So thank you for that. Okay, so now let's
right.
get into PTSD clinic. What's that about? What's that going to be? Where's it going to be? What are we doing?
Well, the PTSD clinic
Uh-huh.
is a thing I came up with probably about a year ago, year and a half ago, something like that. To quick story,
Okay.
I know we ain't got long.
You
Um,
got a good, yeah, you still got time. Come on now.
okay, well, to make a long story long again, right? I was at the height of my depression. I was watching the news. It had to be about last summer. COVID hit,
Uh-huh.
murders was going up, and I was at home and I just broke, watching TV, seeing kids die, babies die, and I'm laying there. I'm laying in the bed, depressed, and I broke. My brain broke,
Mm.
as a wise woman say. My brain broke,
Mm-hmm.
and I said I needed to do something
Mm-hmm.
to help. You know what I'm saying? So I got up and you know all my efforts been trying to do a PTSD clinic and bring it to my neighborhood, which is in Inglewood, where the murder rate in Inglewood is high. These kids and adults living in more like conditions, and I didn't see where people had to cope with drugs,
Right.
alcohol, sex, or become overly vigilant and
Mm-hmm.
violent. One of the symptoms of PTSD. So, and the fact that 80% of kids that experience traumatic events,
Mm-hmm.
90% of them go to juvenile detention centers.
Yes.
So that's why I'm doing my PTSD clinic in Inglewood.
Well, I was diagnosed, everybody, with PTSD, anxiety disorder, depression about a year ago. So I am an advocate. And I know you did some stuff with NAMI recently,
Yeah,
which like you're a rock star now. I sit on the board of NAMI South Suburbs. NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the largest grassroots organization that addresses mental health. And some of the statistics, for real, um, since COVID, 600% of us have mental illness now. That's the numbers. 333% suicide ideology since COVID. So we know that even Michelle Obama said that she was struggling with mild depression, and that started getting people talking. I know one of my goals is to change the narrative of what a strong Black woman is, and to really talk about it. And like you said, your brain broke. You tell people your foot broke. Yeah, I broke my finger. But talk about I broke my brain. I mean, it's the serotonin literally spills from your brain. And us as African Americans, we lack vitamin D, which attributes to depression. Mine was at 11, should have been at a 65. And so, you, as a boxer, a person who fights people for a living, knocks people out, your imagery of being strong and, can dominate and everything, sitting here saying you suffer from PTSD and you want to open up a clinic and you fell down, you had collapse or whatever happened. um, Tell me, when is that going to happen? What do you need to in order for this PTSD clinic to happen in Inglewood? Which, I think is incredible if you get people like people in Inglewood to actually admit and say they have PTSD or depression or anxiety. That's going to be key. But I think by you saying it could be the turning point, right? Don't you think that by you saying it, maybe somebody be like, "Oh, he said it may be cool to say it," right?
Yeah, like that. I'm trying to ignite a different norm,
Mm,
a different culture,
hmm.
because I want getting help for mental illness. I want it to be normalized. I want it to be cool. I want it to be accepted.
Yeah.
Because now it's like in our communities, like we got so many people that's just walking around sick.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And we live next door to these people. We got to go to school with these people, and they sick. So if I can be the one to put my masculinity on the line,
Yes.
that's what I'm
I
doing.
like that.
I'm putting my masculinity on the line to say, oh, I'm a tough fighter. I knock people out. I whoop ass and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I am going to admit I am sick.
Yeah.
I do have
Oh, wow.
PTSD.
Whew.
I'm not well.
That's huge. What you just
So
said.
if I can say it,
Yeah.
I don't want nobody else to be shameless. I don't want no kid to talk to his mom about it.
Right.
Tell me, Mom, this is bothering me. Mom, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Mom, firecrackers set me off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
triggers and things like that.
Exactly. I don't want
Yeah.
nobody to be scared to tell their parents that. And as an adult, don't be scared to tell your wife that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared to your husband that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared to your neighbor.
Yeah.
That's a conversation we need to have.
Right.
Because if not, look at the condition of our community, especially my community,
Right.
Inglewood. There's shootings happening. People got guns. People are scared, man. They dealing with real depression.
Mm-hmm.
They dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just like think about last summer or summer before then. The guy was running from the police and he killed somebody downtown and came to my neighborhood, shot out the police. All these kids outside.
Mm.
All these kids outside. So I go to the city
Yeah.
to call the city to try to get grievance counseling
Right.
for these kids that just seen this. And it fell on deaf ears. So if you ask what I need, we need money. We need
Okay. Say
help.
that. Say it. Say it
I'm
loud.
I'm saying for the people in the back.
How much money you need?
All of it.
How much?
All of it.
Like you need $1 million.
I,
You
I
need
need 2 million.
$2 million. Everybody.
I need
Okay.
$2 million to start this off right.
The PTSD clinic and what else? You said something about a cafe or something. Or
Yeah, I'm working on. I don't want to give too much. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
For the people try to
But they don't got $2 million.
yeah.
Can't nobody steal
Yeah.
nothing. They need,
But of course, a
put it in the
PTSD clinic,
universe.
a health and wellness center, and I'm building a cafe
That's right.
for healing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we need money. We need resources. We need people that's gonna put on the line
Okay.
for not just Inglewood, but we can do this in every community. A
Yeah.
PTSD
The
clinic.
numbers are staggering, and when we start talking about mental health, man, that is that's something that we talk about the funding of the police and how they have to be retrained on how to handle situations. Because if I'm saying 630 something percent of people are suffering from mental illness, and specifically you're talking about in your community, and you drive up on a young kid that just witnessed their brother get murdered, or we all witnessed George Floyd get murdered, so we all got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to rethink how. So will you be doing anything with the defunding of police and anything like that from a political standpoint? Because that's where it starts. It starts with taking away the fear in the community, in the country, of when these young black kids, or any kid, because they kill everybody. Like that's the whole retraining. Because mental illness has no specific target on anybody. Everybody. They say that 77% of individuals who had a trauma, it will, not maybe, it will come back as an adult.
It's going to happen.
It could be just anything. You listen to a song or something that can trigger that suppression, that impression in your memory, in your subconscious, and you may just, like, your heart start beating real fast. You're like, what's wrong with me? So we have to keep talking about this. I know you recently was on the doctors. Tell us about that. And I know it was a shot you were involved with. And tell us about that. And then we're gonna move back on to boxing. And I'm gonna ask you just some fire questions for the ladies. And then if we want some people calling in, do we have anybody? If you have some people calling in, then we'll take those calls. I got people asking questions here on my Facebook Live too.
Okay.
Hi. Hey, Gerald. Okay.
No more question?
No, I'm not. No, I was saying, finish telling me about the doctors.
Okay, well, I was on the TV show called The Doctors. Came on WCIU Channel 26. So it was about PTSD again, and it's a shot that a lot of people may not be privy to. It's called the stellar ganglia block.
Say that slow for people who can't really spell, or like me. The what? The who?
Stellar ganglia.
Ganglia,
like in the ganglia vein.
Ganglia shot. Okay.
So what that do, all in a nutshell, is like an epidural for the brain. So it's kind of reset the fight or flight syndrome for your brain, that for PTSD. So it's kind of like and it kind of restore the fibers in the brain, because any trauma that you experience, your brain fibers is kind of stretched out and kind of damaged.
Yeah. Okay.
So it kind of repair that, reset the fight or flight syndrome, and put you in a more calm state.
So you took the shot?
Yes, I had the shot.
And did it work? It's for PTSD?
Yeah, for PTSD.
And so did it work? I mean, like, what did it do?
It works. Some people need one shot, more shots than others. So the maximum is 2 shots. I took 1. So yeah, it works, and I'm trying to bring the same thing back to my community.
Okay, so we have somebody on the phone. Okay, it's Allison from the Drive at 5 with Rome and Morrow. Who's calling?
Hey, this is James. How you doing?
James, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So you have a question for the champ?
Yeah, I was got a question on. I like the whole idea with everything going on. The question was, how if you're going to get the people in Inglewood to buy into the PSD, like she said, to admit that they have a problem and to go around, like, what's the plan around that?
Good question. So the question is, how are you going to get the people in Inglewood to buy into this whole being honest about PTSD and then the necessity of it, right?
Thanks, James. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Well, right now my goal is to be as present as possible, especially when of course I'm fighting and doing a lot of stuff, but my plan is to be as accessible to these people as possible. Because it's one thing to say, fight PTSD and go run off somewhere else and never be seen, but I'm trying to be there to talk about it. I'm trying to be there for them conversations where a kid can ask me, how did you feel, champ, about this situation, that situation? So, and just to create an atmosphere or some form of normality to talk about it. Just to be present in my neighborhood, man, and just do everything I can.
Well, you're gonna have to You're gonna have to get somebody to reel them in, though. You may have to give out free chicken, or free pizza slices, or nachos.
No,
I mean, I know that you have this idea. You do. You have this idea about. Tell us about the idea. You don't want to say that.
Which one?
I know you have thousands,
right?
But in the boxing ring in the middle of the street, and like you know, using the boxing to kind of reel them in.
Okay,
something like that.
Right. So right now, you know, it's just an idea, and we are
planning.
Yeah, we're in the process of planning it. So since the gun violence is so high in our neighborhoods, and kids are going through so much, and kids and adults, I was organizing a sleep like a kind of like a sleep in, or I'm standing for peace, where I'll be in the middle of my old neighborhood in Inglewood, training with the boxing ring, boxing bag, sleeping outside every day to stand for peace, and
that's dope.
And give kids some sense of normality, because I remember going to the suburbs. Kids sleep outside in their neighborhood. They sleep in their backyard.
Yeah, my mama used to say they used to sleep. They used to drag the mattresses out over on, I don't know where Mama, what? You on here watching live. 60 something. They used to drag the mattresses out or something and watch movies over on 63rd and something. I don't know. You drag a mattress out there now?
Yeah. So we're in the process of that.
You won't have a mattress when you wake up.
Yeah, so we're in the process of doing that, especially training for my fight. I'll be training out there with the people.
That's so brilliant.
You know,
yeah, and make yourself tangible,
exactly,
and accessible to these kids. If they could touch you, like you had said in a documentary that the Chicago Sun-Times did, where you said that your hero was a dope dealer.
Yeah, on
the corner. That's who you could touch and see and feel. Yeah, and so I commend you, because now you want to be that person that they can touch and feel and try to redirect.
Yeah, because we are a product in our environments, and that's no doubt about it. So if the only person I can touch and was tangible to me to get advice from or ask how they feel was the dope dealers, and that's what I wanted to be at one point. So my thing is to be tangible as much as I can, and influence as many kids and adults as much as I can, just by being there. Yeah. So that's the plan right there, James. I appreciate you calling too.
Okay, so where my mama at? My mama's still watching. Anybody got some questions right here on Facebook Live? Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Norris. Hey, everybody. If you guys have any questions, call in at 708-223-8953. The number is 708-223-8953. Ask the champ some questions. Okay, so you want to talk about your personal life a little bit, or no?
Come on, I ain't scared. I'm not scared.
Huh? You don't want to tell us nothing about you single, you mingle, boxers can't do nothing. They just what?
I just live on love.
You live on love?
Yeah.
So okay, so kids, no nothing.
One daughter.
You have a daughter?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Kylie.
So you want to say hi to Kylie? Is Kylie watching?
I don't know. She TikToking.
she TikToking. She don't be watching no intellectual what? No, but tell us about your daughter, and tell us about, what's some things she's doing this summer. Now, how does she handle COVID and all that stuff? I'm getting deep. I'm getting personal. I'm making you uncomfortable.
TikToking.
She just...
TikTok.
No, she just graduated.
Eighth grade. Mm-hmm. She 8th grade.
She did well. And where is she? Yeah.
Yeah, she did pretty good.
Yeah, my niece is in the National Honor Society. She just graduated from 8th grade. And I don't know where she's going to school. But anyway, yeah, I think the kids did better in this whole COVID lockdown. Do you agree? Do they really don't you think they should revamp? Like, they should stay in the house. It's safer, don't you think? And then
no.
Did she do better? But the socialization part is going to be,
kids need to be socialized.
Yeah.
They need to get out the phone, away from their TV, go outside, grab some air, mingle with their friends, learn conflict resolution like normal people, instead of getting an email to them, Right, the LOL and all the emojis and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about Jake Paul. Okay. I want to talk about I want to go back to that. Okay.
Talk about boxing and what is happening for real.
I mean, I think what a game is good right now for the sport. Everybody talk about Jake Paul on how, he messed up boxing, he a bum, and all that kind of stuff.
He didn't mess up boxing from the boxer enthusiast standpoint.
Yeah, like if you're a boxing enthusiast, and of course they're gonna feel like, oh, he ain't that good to be making them kind of money, but he's smart. He had a strategy, stuck to his game plan,
Mm.
and he making a way
Can he
for himself.
box?
Yeah, he can box.
But he was a YouTube. Okay, so tell people who they, if they don't know who Jake Paul is and what we're talking about.
Well, Jake Paul's a
Let them know what we're talking about for real, for real.
Jake Paul's a YouTuber that started fighting
Mm-hmm.
another YouTuber and blew up, made millions of dollars. And a lot of fighters mad that they've been boxing since they was 8 years old. Um, 20, 30 fights, and they still can't make $10,000.
Right.
And he come make millions of dollars. So a lot of fighters feel like, yeah, they wrong
Mm-hmm.
for letting this go on like that. But boxing is boxing. It's always been like an individual sport. There's no governing body to regulate this. So I feel like he did what he had to do to get famous, and people love it. They love the
But
entertainment part.
isn't that Mike Tyson? Or who's promoting that? Who's
Um, Mike Tyson promoted him one fight, I think.
oh, what was this last event?
I don't know who promoted it, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he signed to a promotion company.
Okay.
He his own boss. So a lot of fighters tied to these bogus contracts and can't really do much because you got the boxing guys,
Right.
robbing you and stealing from you.
Right.
And and I'm from believing ownership and being your own boss.
Well, I'm a promoter now.
Uh,
So I'm excited. Guys, Allison Jordan Promotions. I will be promoting the UBO fight. And what I have learned in these last horrid months is the boxing industry is rough.
yeah.
Why? Why? Why so rough?
Um, because boxing is no different from the dope game. If you look at it from the inside out,
Okay.
it's a lot of money to be made. A lot of fighters put their life on the line to entertain us, and they don't walk away with most of the money. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's important to support fighters.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important to come out to these fights. Especially if you're a black fighter, because we not market the way as other fighters from different countries or ethnicities. So
Mm-hmm.
if you go watch a Mexican fight, a Mexican guy gonna fight, and a Mexican rap pass, but a Mexican fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So people take pride in their culture and their country when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
boxing. Boxing is racial anyway. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So you look at a black fighter, who gonna come see him? Grandma, auntie, other black people go, oh, he black. Let's go see him fight.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some kind of underlying hatred, but like when it comes to stuff like that. So when you come, like I could bet $1 to a donut. If I fight a guy from Europe
Mm-hmm.
at the United Center tomorrow, every European in Illinois going to fill that stadium.
But that gets back to what Mike Tyson's doing or what he did and what Jake Paul and how the game is changing. It's more entertainment.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, your daughter, like the Dojo Cat was on there. You
right,
know what I'm saying? Like they were strippers rolling down a pole. Like
right.
it wasn't even boxing. I think the boxing was probably like 20 minutes of a 2-hour show. It
Yeah,
was entertainment. So
yeah,
maybe that's the thing in order to get us to start following the sport and understanding the
yeah.
history of it. Because tell us about the history of it. Like, who are some of your heroes in boxing? Who are some people that you looked up to? And, I mean, most of us have made the boxing sport, especially the WBC, well known. Like,
Right.
we made the boxing sanctioning bodies pretty
The
much,
people,
right?
yeah. Well, a few fighters that I look up to, I can say Roy Jones Jr.,
Hmm. Why?
fast, flashy, you know, just all around good athlete.
Okay.
Mike Tyson, like Mike Tyson. I like
Why?
he a ferocious animal. I got that part of my game too. Muhammad Ali.
You bite ears?
No,
Okay.
if I have to, I would.
Just checking. That's as ferocious as you can
I
get.
like Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
That's my
Well, who doesn't? I'm a Muhammad Ali. I'm a super
Yeah,
fan.
that's my favorite. I love Muhammad Ali. He just a great champion. He in and
Hmm.
outside the ring.
Who do you see yourself in all of those, or like a hodgepodge of all of them, or where do you take from, or what's your style, or like?
I got my own style.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got my own style. I got my own swag.
Didn't you call yourself the Beyonce of boxing?
I did.
Do you still call yourself that? We gonna rebrand that.
Yeah, we're gonna rebrand that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I am though, because Beyonce puts on the show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You can say James Brown, Michael Jackson. Why Beyonce?
Because she's a real showman. That's
okay.
That's the Hollywood.
You the Beyonce. Okay. So
I ain't gonna say that. I'm not the Beyonce of boxing.
Oh, you gonna switch that?
But she is the hardest working woman in show business right now.
Okay.
So
you put on a show. What can we expect from your show? And I know we have coming up Corliss King. I don't know where you are, Corliss, but I hope you're still coming. But we're gonna continue to talk to the champ.
Right.
So tell us, what can we expect from your show?
September 25th. Expect a spectacle. Expect a circus. Expect over the top. I got a lot of celebrities coming out. I can't really say who on this radio.
Okay.
But and just me, you know, if y'all never see me fight, come out and see what a real showman looks like.
Okay.
Allison Jordan Promotions. We gonna overdo it.
Yeah, I always say I'd rather do too much than too little. So somebody can go, that was team too much. Okay. It's better to give more than to give less.
Yeah, we gonna overdo it.
Amen. Can I get an amen? Hallelujah. So where can we get tickets?
We're gonna have tickets available on Eventbrite.
Right now. Epic Arts
Entertainment.
Epic Arts Chicago.
Yeah.
.com. www.epicartchicago.com. And so we're going to have, I think Corliss is here, and we're getting ready to get Corliss in the studio. So I just want to say thank you, Derek Durr, light heavyweight champion, soon to be the All-America light heavyweight champion for the UBO on September 25th. Get your tickets now or inquire on www.epicartchicago.com.
September 25th. Hey, don't be late. Doors open at 5. Man, we finna make history, especially me being the first American with the UBO title. So y'all want to be in attendance for this. So
all right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and then I'm gonna be bringing in the studio Corliss King, and I'm gonna tell you about this bad sister. Everybody, we're back, and this is Allison Jordan sitting in for the incredible Roman Morrow with Intellectual Radio, The Drive at 5. Thank you, Roman. I love you. So we just had fun with light heavyweight champ Derek Durr, and now I have my sister girl up in here. We laugh because I got to do a serious interview with you, Corliss.
Okay.
This is serious business because, you know, we've been friends for 30 years. He said I could interview anybody, and I just really wanted to interview you because not only are you one of my longest and best friends and sister, but I am extremely proud of you. Like I'm so proud of you. I want to take credit for like being your campaign manager or something. But anyway, Corliss King, y'all, for real, is the vice president Transport Workers Union for Southwest Airlines.
Yes.
Listen to me very clearly. Y'all know how big Southwest Airlines, right? She's over the flight attendants, right? The union, the vice president. She is a bad, I don't know if I can curse. And she's also co-chair of the Chicago Federation of Labor. She bad. She bad. Hey, Corliss.
Hi, Allison. So I am co-chair of the Chicago Federation of Labor's Aviation Committee.
Woo!
And I am second vice president for Transport Workers Union, Local 556, the Union of Southwest Airlines Flight Attendants.
So tell us, for people who are real slow and the people in the back like me that's on the side, break that all down for us. Tell us what all that means.
So when you fly the friendly skies, you get on the Love airline, the Love jet. Those fabulous flight attendants are members of Transport Workers Union. We are nearly 16,000 strong.
Woo!
And we are part of an international union, Transport Workers Union, who move America. New York Transit, Philadelphia Transit, JetBlue Airlines.
Wow.
San Francisco Transit. Those are all unions that move this country. And we are one of the locals, the second largest local among all of those fabulous
So vice president,
unions.
what does that mean? I mean, I know like that's big shoulder. That's huge. Like, so what does a typical vice president-y day look like when you go to whatever I know you travel everywhere.
I do.
I mean, so when you get on a flight, they be like, "Hail to the queen." Excuse me, you want extra peanuts? Like, give her 7 peanuts, y'all. You know what I mean? Like,
actually, we don't do peanuts anymore. However,
oh, y'all got food now?
No, we don't have food. We have no peanuts. We have less food. But everybody and their mama has a peanut allergy, so we don't have peanuts anymore. And when I get on the plane, they're like, "Oh yeah, you know where it is."
Oh, it's like
right,
okay.
It's like family. Like, gone in the kitchen.
But that's a big deal because they had to vote you in.
Yes.
And I was on some of your Facebook Lives when you were campaigning and looking crazy because didn't know what the heck y'all was talking about.
But you were there.
I was there. I was supporting you.
questions.
So for people who are listening that are not aviation type people, tell us the levity of what this means. Like, seriously.
What I do is I truly work for our members. So while our flight attendants are taking care of everybody else, we're taking care of our flight attendants.
Right.
We're making sure that management is taking care of them properly. We're fighting for legislation that protects us on the ground, protects us in the air. You may have seen recently on the news where we've had an uptick of violence against flight attendants.
No, I missed that.
How did you miss that, girl?
I don't watch the news. I got PTSD.
I don't watch the news either, but yeah, it's in my backyard. We have, with what's gone on with coronavirus, people, I call it the corona crazy, where people have been locked in their houses for a year and they come out and they seem to have lost it. I heard you talking about mental illness.
Right.
I have predicted we are going to see a surge after coronavirus.
Yeah.
Of the aftermath of that pandemic. So we've had a medical pandemic, a virus pandemic. We're going to have a mental pandemic.
Oh yeah, it's there.
It's there, and it's only going to get worse.
Okay.
And so what we have seen as flight attendants is a lot of passenger compliance issues. We have seen escalations in violence to the point of assault, and our flight attendants being taken away in an ambulance because of compliance issues.
Okay.
And so what we do is we advocate for them with management. I personally am working with a team on changing legislation here in Illinois. That legislation is about allowing flight attendants and aviation professionals in Illinois to be able to use their accrued sick time to take care of their family members.
Right. So talk about segue, honey, into that.
So
yeah, that y'all, she said a whole bunch of y'all, you want to, let's replay that. Let me rewind one more time.
Okay.
Do it again. Say that again.
So I am currently fighting for legislation that will allow those in the aviation profession in Illinois to use their accrued sick time, their earned sick days, to take care of their families.
And tell us why that's important to you. Give us a little background on that.
So my personal journey is that my husband Terrence Hale, who
My
had
brother.
end-stage renal disease, was left disabled
Mm-hmm.
as a result of that. And so he needed assistance sometimes. He needed care. We needed help with our young children at the time. And when he was stricken with an episode that left him debilitated, as the primary breadwinner, I would have to choose between taking care of my family and earning money.
Right.
And so in 2017 rather, the state of Illinois enacted the Illinois Sick Leave Act. It's a public act
Mm-hmm.
that allows anyone over a certain, an employee of an employer group over a certain amount to be able to use their earned sick time to care for themselves or for their family.
Right.
So I was elated because that meant I got relief.
Mm-hmm.
That meant somebody like me didn't have to make those tough choices.
Right.
And in the veto session, which is the 12 days after legislation, it went into effect on the 1st, and by the 12th, we were cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Just those of us in aviation and rail. So I went from a relief to being gut punched again, and no one could tell me why.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent the next year trying to find answers. And because I'm not a politico, I was getting stonewalled a lot,
Right.
and shushed and shooed along a lot until I finally got tired, and I knocked on enough doors until I found somebody who could answer my questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to my question as to why we were removed from that act was because they could.
Yeah.
No
Wow.
logic,
That's it.
no rhyme, no reason.
Dang,
Because we
that's a
fell
low blow.
under the Railway Labor Act, which means nothing in this context.
Yeah.
You know, what I learned and am learning in this journey is that companies are big business.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the little guy.
Right.
And I gathered a couple of what my friend Michael Hastings, Senator Michael Hastings, called was a ragtag flight attendants that would not go away.
Yeah.
And we found him to help us turn it around. So what Senator Hastings did was authored legislation
Mm-hmm.
that put us back into the Sick Leave Act.
Amen.
Well, we're not
Well,
cheering yet.
A. We're at A. We're not at men yet.
We're not the men.
Okay.
We're at A. And so we got through that process, or got it to legislation. Then we ran into government change. The governor changed.
Mm-hmm.
The budget shutdowns, coronavirus,
Right.
all dragged this out.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, my husband passed away.
Right. Sorry about that. He was, yeah.
So he never got to see this law come to pass.
He's gonna see it. He's still watching us. He got you working for your husband right now.
every day.
Every day.
Every day. So I can hear him in heaven going, "That's my wife."
Yeah. That's what he would say. He didn't have a name.
I didn't
He'd be
have a
like,
name.
I'd be like, where's Cross? You mean my wife?
That's my wife.
What's my wife? Where my
And I
wife?
would say, "I have a name."
Well,
But and I realized in his passing,
yeah.
that was a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I didn't need a name because
Yeah.
that was my wife.
Yeah.
So I know he is looking down, going, "That's my wife," because
That's
I haven't
right.
stopped.
That's right.
So we've gotten it through the Senate.
Okay.
It passed overwhelmingly in the Senate. It got to the House of Representatives in the Assembly, for the Illinois Assembly. And we hit another wall.
Mm-hmm.
That wall was that a legislator picked it up
Mm.
with no intention of passing it.
Yet.
At all.
Oh wow.
I'm hoping that he will understand that that's the right thing to do. But
Yeah.
right now, he thinks he stopped it, but he
Yeah.
never met me.
Well, Corliss, all I know is I'm sorry that we didn't have a lot of time, and it's my fault. So Roman,
It's
listen
her
to me.
fault.
I did. I gave her the wrong time, the
Wrong
wrong phone
phone nu-
number,
It
the
was-
wrong everything.
but-
So
but-
Roman, I know you're listening. If you're not, Earl's here. I'm gonna text you when I'm done. Get Corliss back. Give her an hour because you have to hear her story. You have to hear what's going on, and
So much.
and everything. She's hilarious. She's funny. She's smart. She's my sister.
Yes.
What's your favorite food? Because I'm gonna take you out. It was her birthday the other day.
Double
so-
nickel, baby.
Oh yeah, I need to borrow some money though, because you like rich food, lobster
I
and stuff.
do.
So yeah, you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a cheap date.
You're not a cheap date. I forgot about that.
That's
Let me
right.
rethink that.
Butter,
You're like butter, garlic,
garlic.
everything I don't eat. Like, yeah, I eat that too. But happy birthday.
Thank you.
I love you for coming here. We're going to go somewhere to eat or do something.
Yeah, we are.
I owe you.
You
I
owe
owe
me.
you big time.
Big time.
And I want to thank Earl Winfrey, y'all, who we're in his house. He doesn't, we don't talk. He sits in the back and he be punching a bunch of buttons over there. But I just want to say thank you. I appreciate being here today. I hope I come back. I'm glad you guys stay tuned, listened in, and I'm just excited to be here. So again, this is Allison Jordan. I've been spending the last hour on IntellectualRadio.com for the Drive at 5 for Roman Morrow. And I see y'all when I come back. All right.